Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. It seems that all the snow and cold has started attracting penguins to East Brunswick. Actually, this little guy from Jenkinson's Aquarium doesn't like the cold. We'll have more on his visit to Irwin School later. Some Irwin students also visited and performed for seniors in town. We'll have information on a printmaking program rescheduled by the East Brunswick Arts Commission. Diane de Oliveira learns about the Compassionate Friends organization on making a difference. East Brunswick seniors show us that square dancing is alive and kicking. And we'll have a few minutes of actress Susan Sarandon's visit to the State Theater this week as part of the Home News and Tribune's Smart Talk series. Stay with us.
It might seem like winter's just beginning, but for many East Brunswick families, they are thinking about summer. Summer day camp, that is. For over 30 years, the East Brunswick Division of Recreation has offered 6 and 7-week summer day camp programs for children pre-K through 10th grade. These camps are located in our various public schools, supervised by licensed teachers, young adults, and students. Half-day and full-day age-specific programs are planned at these different sites. All costs for camp activities are included in the registration fee, with the exception of some optional day trips. Families are responsible for transportation to and from camp, as well as snacks and/or lunches. Registration packets are available for pickup at the library or the recreation office on Dunham's Corner Road during the regular working hours. Registration begins on February 9th with applications that have been received through the mail only. Applications must be postmarked no earlier than February 9th and will be processed on a first-come, first-served basis. Spaces are limited. Payment plans are available. After reading registration materials, if you still have questions, please call the Recreation Office for clarification. Office hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Hi, I'm Trish LaDuca, Coordinator of Community Relations and Programs for the East Brunswick Public Schools. And we're here at Irwin School this morning with Krista Sardi, first grade teacher, and PTA cultural arts person, and also Sean and Shreya, who are here to tell you about what's going on today. So Krista, what's everybody so excited about?
Well, all of first grade's very excited. We've been learning about penguins now for several weeks, and the children have been counting down the days for the arrival of the penguin from Jenkinson's Aquarium. So they're very excited to see a penguin up close and in person.
And Mrs. Starry, what did you have to do with bringing the penguins here to Irwin?
Well, we've had the penguins here before, and I'm in touch with somebody at Jenkinson's, and they were such a big hit. They have no problem bringing them back, and it's just a pleasure really to have them and to set this whole thing up. I couldn't wait to see it.
Very good. And Sean and Shreya, can you tell us what's the best thing that you learned about penguins when you were studying penguins?
The eggs go in the brood pouch.
What do you think about having live penguins here at Irwin?
Good.
Now, a lot of people want to know, how do we take care of our penguins at the aquarium? Because we have 17 penguins, and it's a big job. Do any of you think you might want a penguin as a pet? Raise your hand. Everybody? Let's see. First of all, you'd have to quit school and get a full-time job, because fish cost a lot of money. And Dunlop can eat 20 fish in one day. And then, when you get done working all day, you're going to have to come home and clean up after Dunlop. And that takes hours. Dunlop's very messy. Now, if that's not bad enough, penguins don't like to be alone. So you need to get at least 6 more penguins for Dunlop to live with. How many of you still think you want a penguin as a pet?
Now, with John Gerges and Aviv Spector, two first-grade students at Irwin School who have been studying penguins, and they know a lot about penguins. Aviv, tell us something that you learned about penguins in school.
The penguins have little feathers, really tiny 70 feathers, and they put it on there, and when they go in the water, there's so much that water can't come through them.
Oh, the water can't come through their feathers. And John, what did you learn about penguins while you were studying penguins in school?
There's a rockhopper that jumps on rocks, and there's a yellow-eyed penguin that has yellow eyes.
So there's lots of different kinds of penguins. Now, you just had something very exciting happen here. What did you just see?
I see penguins coming around.
Real live penguins, didn't you? What did you learn from this real live penguin, John?
I know that kind of penguin. That was a black-footed penguin.
And what did you learn about penguins here?
This penguin eats fish. 20 fish.
20 fish. I learned that too. That was kind of amazing. And Aviv, what did you learn about penguins from the woman from Jenkinson's?
Then, when they close their eyes, they still can see through their eyebrows.
Why do you think that's important?
No, because pretend that somebody's coming like a seal, and he thinks that the penguin is dead by closing his eyes. When he comes, the penguin swims away.
Susan Sarandon spoke to a full house at the State Theater Monday night. Her presentation was the first of 5 in the Smart Talk Women's Lecture Series. This year's series includes appearances by Marianne Pearl, Elaine Stritch, Jenny Boylan, and Whoopi Goldberg. On Monday, Susan Sarandon shared stories of her life and answered questions from the audience.
I suppose that it all started with Sister Eulalia, who was my second grade teacher, who offered the first explanation of my unfortunate, persistent habit of asking unsettling questions. I said, if only people that are married in the Catholic Church are really married, as she's been telling us, then how could Joseph and Mary be married if Jesus didn't invent it until much later? Well, that was it. She put me in the hall until she calmed down. And her diagnosis was, and I quote, an overabundance of original sin. Which really hurt my feelings. And almost as much as when I was made to sit in the weed chair separated from the flowers in kindergarten for coloring the sky purple, which probably was only because they didn't have a blue crayon at my table, but they took it as meaning that I was again doing something completely countercultural at the school. The whole concept of original sin just didn't sit right with me. I'd studied the faces of Jesus and Mary many, many hours as I spent in church praying to have the strength to be martyred when the communists came over and tested my faith. And they were going to tie us on crosses. I don't know if you went through that, but at our school, that's what we believed. And I rather than deny my faith, I was willing to do that. And so when I was sitting in church and studying all these statues all the time, they just looked so kind, Jesus and Mary. I mean, maybe God the Father was a little more vengeful. The whole idea of newborns being thrown into limbo or hell because they hadn't been baptized seemed a little bit much to me, because I certainly, as the oldest of 9, I'd seen a lot of babies. They seemed really fine and smelled good. They didn't smell evil. So then that got me thinking about poor Eve, who, taking the entire blame for shame and hostile animals and no place to live. To me, she seemed like the very first person who thought for herself.
The Smart Talk Women's Lecture Series is sold out this year. For information about tickets for next year, go to talk.biz. For the calendar of events at the State Theater in New Brunswick, visit statetheaternj.org.
The East Brunswick Arts Commission rescheduled a workshop on printmaking for Tuesday, January 27th at the East Brunswick Library. The workshop is free and begins at 7:30 p.m. and will feature Susan Altman, an assistant professor in the Visual Arts Department at Middlesex County College.
In front of me are 3 different matrices, and what a matrix is for printmaking is the actual item that is used to create the work on paper. Here is a wood block, and actually we're lucky enough to have the wood block for this print here. On a wood block, using wood carving tools, the artist carves away the block, but not the positive, the negative. So what's carved away, the white, is carved away from the block, and then what's left is printed. Here we have a lithostone. You might wonder about the image on it. It's actually a turn of the century, and we know it's turn of the century. It's actually, we can see electrical supply here upside down, so we know it's the 20th century. Originally, lithography was used for advertising, for books, for artists to create illustrations for magazines and newspapers. There weren't magazines in the 19th century, but certainly for newspapers and journals and books, because there weren't the reproductive methods that we have today. There wasn't offset lithography. Yet, artists always took these commercial processes and made them into art. Prints are works on paper. They're created from a matrix such as these. They're printed in addition. They're multiples, which is one of the reasons people don't think they're original works of art, because they feel that, wait, there's more than one. There's only one Mona Lisa. We're going to look at images, both historical and by 20th century artists, and certainly by 21st century artists, because 21st century artists are now using technologies that were not available before. Digital prints, glissé prints, other prints that did not exist before. So we hope you'll join us and learn everything there is to know about prints and more. So next time that you go to a museum or a gallery, you understand what you're looking at, and you'll really see that there's a wonderful world of prints out there.
All 4 men go into the middle, make a left-hand star and turn it around. Now find your partner.
Everybody face your corner. I'll man left that corner, lady there and go grand right and left.
Hi, I'm Sharon Riley Morosi, Assistant Director for the East Brunswick Department on Aging, and this is the Voice of Experience. Today we're highlighting our square dancing class at the East Brunswick Senior Center. I'd like to introduce our caller, Betsy Gada.
Hello, Sharon. Hi, everybody.
Betsy, what can you tell us about square dancing?
Square dancing is a truly American art form or dance form. A lot of the figures were brought over from the Western European settlers, and it's an excellent form of mild aerobic exercise, and it keeps your brain stimulated at the same time. Plus, it's a lot of fun.
What would you like our viewing audience to know about square dancing?
I would like the viewing audience to know that basically, if you can walk, you can learn to square dance. We've had people dancing with us here at East Brunswick who never square danced before. They came into the room here, and they're doing great, and they're having a wonderful time. Sometimes they make mistakes, but that's part of the experience, and they all laugh about it, and we continue on.
So there's no requirements, no experience necessary?
No experience necessary, just the ability to listen and walk and follow directions, which is probably the toughest part, following directions.
Here, there, the head 2 ladies chain across. You turn her there and then side 2 ladies chain across. Go side ladies. And the head 2 ladies chain right back. And the side 2 ladies chain right back. Everybody face your corner now. Swing your corner, corner swing. You swing her around. Go forward and back. Now all the ladies chain across. The ladies give a right hand left to the man. You turn around. And now all the ladies chain again. Go back. Everybody go forward, up and back with you. Well, now with the one you're facing, star through. Ladies left, man right. There you go. Look for the corner, out man left. Good job. Come back. and find your partner, swing your partner there, you know you put her on the right and join your hands and circle to the left.
Tom, what do you enjoy about square dancing?
Everything. It's good exercise, for one thing, you know, and everybody laughs, you know, having a good time, that's what counts.
I love the motion. I love coming and being with the people. I love the fact that when we do goof up, everybody laughs, and there's nothing that can't be corrected. We can always get out of it, work our way back. I love the action. I love moving around and just having a good time.
I look forward to coming here every Wednesday morning. It keeps me moving for 2 hours. It also trains me to listen and follow directions, which I think is very important. It keeps the brain active. And we just have lots of fun here. We have nice people that we dance with, and I have the opportunity to become a man or a boy rather than a girl. So I've changed roles in my life, late in life. It's kind of fun.
Everybody, owl in left your corner right in front of you. Come back to your partner.
Please remember, the East Brunswick Department on Aging is here to help you and yours age successfully. If you would like more information about programs available through the East Brunswick Department on Aging or the Senior Center, please call us at 732-390-6896.
Across from you. All right, good job.
Newly bereaved parents, grandparents, and siblings who want to talk about the loss of a loved one can find comfort in the Compassionate Friends. Hi, I'm Diane DeOliveira, and with me today is Marcia Alleg. She helped found the Mercer County area chapter. Welcome to the show, Marcia.
Thank
you. I understand that you lost a son, Daniel, before even a national organization was formed.
That's correct. He died in 1975, and the national organization began in 1978. And I joined with my husband and I joined with two other couples and helped found the Mercer area chapter. And it was the first time we'd really been able to talk to other bereaved parents about our son.
Now, there are chapters nationwide. How many are there in the U.S., worldwide, and right here in New Jersey?
There are nearly 600 in the U.S., and the organization exists in 27 countries around the world. It was originally founded in England.
And for New Jersey, there are several chapters right in this general area, in the Central Jersey area. We mentioned that you helped form the Mercer County chapter. There's also one in Spotswood.
That's correct. And that chapter is directed by, Richard Quaintance. And then there are chapters in Monmouth and further north. There are about 13 chapters in the state.
For people who do join the Compassionate Friends, what is it that they will get out of this group, this nonprofit organization?
First, they get friendship and understanding. People who have really been there, and they get role models, people who have been dealing with the death of a child for a longer period of time, so that gives them hope that they too can walk through the valley and make it to the other side of grief.
And everybody grieves in their own way. What one person might deem is their way of grieving might be complete opposite of what somebody else might do.
Exactly. And men and women tend to grieve differently. Children tend to grieve differently from their parents. So if you have a family of 4 people who are grieving, they will each have a different grief style, which is one of the advantages of the organization, is it helps teach the parents that, so that no one thinks that somebody else is doing it wrong.
Now, for a person, if you're a friend or a relative of somebody who has lost a child, how do you approach that person? One thing, it's an uncomfortable situation. You know, you can never imagine the pain that they must be going through. So what is it that you say to try to let them know that you're there? Do they want to talk about the death of their child or just the memory of their child? Does that make them feel better, or do you just let them know that you're there for them?
They do want to talk about the child, and the first thing that anyone can say to a friend who has had this experience is, "I'm sorry," and say it as if you really, really mean it. And then allow the person to talk about the child if that person so chooses. You can ask encouraging things such as, "Tell me about your child. Do you have a favorite memory you'd like to share?" And what was your child's favorite food? Things like that, which would let them know that you really care and you are interested in hearing about this. And they are really very hungry to talk about the child because so many people put up a road stop sign and let them know that they are uncomfortable and don't wish to hear.
Well, I think it's just you're just not sure how to approach somebody. Like as I said, you know, you're not. It's a very uncomfortable situation, and you know you cannot imagine what they must be going through. And you're thinking, am I saying the wrong thing? Am I saying the right thing? And I think it's just you're afraid you might say the wrong thing. But people actually do want to talk about their loved one.
Absolutely. And this is a horrible event that has taken place. Therefore, there's not too much one could say that would make the person feel worse. And frankly, there's not a whole lot one could say that would make the person feel better, short of having the child magically reappear. So I say that in order to take some of the burden off the person. Just being with the one who is grieving is very important. Touching the person, hugging the person, that's very comforting and helpful. And to call periodically and just say hi, give your name, just checking in to see how things are going. Would you like for me to go to the store with you today? Helpful things such as that. Most people tend to say, well, now, if you need anything, just call me, which is very sincere, but it actually puts the burden of the relationship on the one who's grieving, who may not even be capable of picking up the phone.
Now, Marcia, there's also other groups for people who might have lost a child to suicide or even infant deaths. There's other breakout groups that might meet separately.
Nationally, there are Survivors of Suicides group, there are SIDS groups, and there's a group called Unite, which is for those whose child died within the first few weeks. And these groups are also very helpful, and they have a good relationship with Compassionate Friends. In addition, some chapters have separate satellite groups for those particular interests.
Now, how do people find out about the Compassionate Friends? Are they referred by a funeral director, or how would you know about it?
Their referrals are a very common way. Funeral directors, doctors, friends, counselors, school teachers all can make referrals. And for the local chapter, anyone can call 732-548-1419, or they can call the national organization at 877-969-0010. If they have internet connection, they can go to the website at www.compassionatefriends.org.
Marcia, is there anything else that you would like people to know about the Compassionate Friends?
Well, the Compassionate Friends is a wonderful organization, and everyone involved with it has had the experience of the death of a child, a sibling, or a grandchild. So that when you call, you have already reached someone who truly understands what you're going through. And it's been around for long enough to have developed some very useful coping skills and information that is available.
Marcia, thank you for being with me today. For Making a Difference, I'm Diane de Oliveira.
Hi, I'm Trish LaDuca, and I'm here at Sunrise Assisted Living Facility this afternoon with Michelle Schmidt and Olivia Yacoub, who just did a great performance here for the residents at Sunrise. And they're going to tell you a little bit about the group that sang here and how hard they've been working. Michelle?
Well, our a cappella choir is a select choir, and there's approximately 22 students in the choir, and they meet one day a week for 20 minutes. And so they give up their recess time to be a part of the group, which is really dedication on their part. And they performed a winter concert yesterday, and they decided to come here to Sunrise Assisted Living to stick out their necks. One of the things that we've been working on at Irwin Elementary School is to try to do acts of kindness, and there's kind of a theme going on at the school talking about heroes and how ordinary people can do extraordinary things, and this is one of the ways that we thought we could reach out to the community.
Well, this was certainly a fantastic thing to do, and I know all about your Stick Your Neck program out. How do you feel about sticking your neck out here at Sunrise today?
It's really an honor to do something for people, to give back to the community and help others.
Very good. And how do you feel about being a member of this great group?
It's fun to sing in the group and practice, and we have a lot of fun doing it.